What's going on, Spartans? My name is Midnight. Welcome back to yet another Doom video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Doom because it was Doom's 25th birthday. And if I had to be completely honest, I do not have a single idea of what I'm going to be talking about in this video. The reason why I'm doing this video is because I did the same thing with Halo when Halo turned 15 years old. And so I'm gonna do the same thing with Doom because Doom just turned 25 years old. And it's a very special age because pretty much every single human being goes out of their house at the age of 25. I don't know, I'm 22 soon. So okay, this is going to be like a rambling bit about Doom and why I like Doom so much. Talking about the development of Doom, the gameplay mechanics, the lore, etc. And why Doom is very interesting and why we have had 25 years of Doom being awesome. So without further ado, let's begin. First, let me clarify how amazing is that Doom has its birthday, the 10th of December, and my birthday is the 11th of December. It would have been a pretty amazing coincidence if my birthday was the 10th of December. Like imagine, I create Doom videos and Doom has the same birthday as mine. That would be such an amazing and epic crossover. In 1993, a little group named id Software created one of the most amazing and important FPS of all time. That game was named Doom, and it was a revolutionary game because, oh my god, Doom is playing on 3D just like Wolfenstein 3D. But no, that was all a lie. Doom wasn't processing the objects, the map, the weapons, the NPCs, etc. in 3D. It was processing it like in 2.5D. Overall, everything that the processor was rendering in the Doom map was in a 2D plane, but that is a very complex topic, so if you want to watch a video talking about that, watch this video about the game theorists. Doom was in 3D, disgracing and side questing by Ronnie. Rest in peace, boy. But yes, Doom was the pioneer of the FPS genre. Pretty much every single game tried to copy Doom, and Doom was copied so much that it made its own genre. Like for example, Duke Nukem 3D was copying Doom. Some Star Wars games were copying Doom as well. I could mention a lot of games that copied the formula of Doom, but pretty much when a game is copied every so often, it will become its own genre. For example, every video game that was copying Doom at the time was named a Doom-like game, but then it was changed to the FPS genre. Like I said before, Duke Nukem 3D, GoldenEye, Star Wars game. A lot of games follow the same formula of Doom 1993, Doom 2 Hell on Earth, and all the expansions it had. Even Half-Life, one of the best FPS ever, copied Doom. Why? You can see the gameplay. Pretty much a guy on a power armor suit that can carry a lot of weapons at the same time. Yes, Half-Life was even more polished than Doom 1993, but still you can notice that it was heavily inspired by Doom 1993. Obviously, Doom 1993 was not the first FPS game in the video game industry. There were a lot of FPS games before Doom 1993, like for example, Wolfenstein 3D. It was an FPS title, but you can see how Doom revolutionized the FPS genre, because instead of playing it in a 2D plane, it gave you the illusion that you were playing it in a 3D plane. And that fact alone changed things dramatically, and also the fact that pretty much the story, in-quote story, or the narrative of Doom was very amazing. You're a space marine alone, all of your comrades are dead, and you need to kill all of the goddamn demons roaming in the corporation you are in on Mars. And pretty much when Doom 1993 was made, we were having like the most macho man era of mankind or something like that. Like for example, in movies we were having things like Rambo, Alien, Predator, and Die Hard. In anime and manga we were having things like Hokuto no Ken, JoJo's Special Adventure, and Berserk, and in games we were having things like Duke Nukem 3D, Wolfenstein, and Doom. Like every single man that played Doom was like, oh my god, I feel so macho, man! Like it was a perfect time to release a macho-inducing testosterone game like Doom. But yes, fast forward to 2004 and Doom 3 was made. Overall it was a change of genre. It wasn't even the same genre. It was an FPS game, but instead of being an action-packed FPS, it was a suspense, scary, spooky Doom game, and overall it was a pretty decent game. The only issue I had with Doom 3 was that in the beginning it felt like an amazing suspense and scary game, but over time the game felt more like a suspense, scary, and action-packed game. Like I wanted to feel scared, but like all the demons were coming at me, it wasn't scary anymore, and sometimes the lighting was very forced, like pretty much it felt like the game had no textures. Like I remember there's a part on the Doom 3 campaign where you're going into a straight corridor and you go against the Hell Knight, but the lighting is so off and so awful that you can only see like the silhouette of the Hell Knight. You cannot even see the textures when the light is hitting the walls. Like it was a pretty bad thing right there. But overall, Doom 3 was a pretty good experience, even though it didn't fully develop as a FPS scary game. But to be completely honest, I think it was a pretty good idea to make a scary Doom game, because it was a change for its software, because it wasn't change of the comfort zone. And pretty much the Doom 3 game made a Doom movie where The Rock appeared. Overall, that movie was a pretty decent movie. It was basically Doom 3 because instead of demons, they were bad experiments. Like at one point of the movie, there's a prisoner that had a death sentence and was injected with a lethal injection. But instead of being a lethal injection, was like the infection of the demons or something like that. And that guy pretty much became like a Hell Knight fused with a Revenant. It was a pretty strange experience, that movie. And pretty much the best part of the movie is where our protagonist gets injected with the 24th chromosome or something like that, and he pretty much becomes the Doom Slayer or Doom Guy or the Doom Marine. And in that part, the movie, instead of going into third person, it went into first person, and we got like a 4 to 6 minute scene where our Doom Marine is killing every single demon. But it was purely choreographed, but still it was pretty decent, and it was a pretty good fan service for the Doom fans. Pretty much when I watched that movie, I had well, I was born in 1996, I had 8 years old, and I watched it on Dish because my parents had a subscription of Dish, and we watched it on Dish in 2005 or something like that. And I was like, hey, that is like the Doom game, I like it, even though I was a little kid. But yes, the Doom 3 game was pretty decent, but it didn't live up to the expectations of the Doom fans, the hardcore fans, but it was pretty decent overall, and it was pretty good. And the Doom movie was it was okay. Pretty bad CGI on The Rock when he was converting into a demon, and pretty much the most amazing part of the movie was when the FPS Doom Marine scene and the BFG 9000 scene. Oh boy, I want a one-on-one replica of that BFG, it's beautiful. So fast forward to the game that pretty much is blowing up my channel, Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal on the future. But Doom 2016 had a pretty rough development, to be completely honest. I wasn't following the development of Doom 2016 because, if I had to be completely honest, I didn't know the game was being developed, because at that time I was addicted to Call of Duty, Battlefield, Halo, Red Dead Redemption, Dead Space, all of these amazing games, and Doom pretty much went under my radar because what, Doom 2016 began development like in 2011, 2012. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, but Doom 2016, or pretty much Doom 4, had a pretty rough development. It was delayed several times, like 3 or 4 times. They had an alpha, a beta, they had a trailer that was released like in 2013. Pretty much stated that the story was going to be very different than the story we have right now in Doom 2016. Like the game was scrapped like 4 or 5 times, I do not know. And honestly, I can feel how frustrated was its software when developing the Doom 4 game, because oh boy, they didn't know where to direct the game, where to direct the storyline. It showed, if I had to be completely honest, it showed that its software didn't know what they were doing. Not literally, but what I mean is that they didn't even know if it was a good idea to make a Doom 4 game. And I can feel even more pain when they released the beta, because pretty much the Doom 2016 beta on Steam, it had pretty negative ratings. It was one of the most disliked betas or early access games on Steam at that time. Like, things were looking really bad for its software. Pretty much one of the most disliked things about the beta of Doom 2016 was obviously the multiplayer, because you could only play the multiplayer. I do not remember if you could play a demo, but pretty much players were disliking Doom 2016 because of the multiplayer, and to be completely honest, the multiplayer of Doom 2016 is not that great. Honestly, I prefer to play Halo, because pretty much Halo is my favorite game of all time, and my second favorite game of all time is Doom because of the campaign. You might say that heresy, but that's just how it is. Before switching to Doom in this channel, I was a Halo channel. I have uploaded over more than 300 videos about Halo. So yes, Halo is my love, but Doom is my love as well. I love Doom so much. But okay, I need to accept that the multiplayer of Doom 2016 is not that great. Why? Because they tried to do a multiplayer that was for esports players. Like, they tried to do a competitive multiplayer. And you might be saying that, oh, its software doesn't know to do multiplayer games. No, you have Quake Champions, you have Quake 2, Unreal Tournament, you have Quake 3, you have Quake Deathmatch from Doom 1 and Doom 2. Like, its software knows how to do multiplayer games. Quake Champions just have like a championship 2 weeks ago, something like that. And pretty much Quake Champions, Quake 1, Quake 2, Quake 3, Quake Champions, Doom Deathmatch, and Unreal Tournament, they are pretty decent, no, they are pretty amazing multiplayer games. So its software knows how to do, knows how to create, and knows how to handle multiplayer games. But for some reason they didn't nail the Doom 2016 multiplayer. And I think the reason is because they tried to do it like a esports multiplayer like Call of Duty or Halo, because that was the main issue with Doom 2016 multiplayer. It felt like Call of Duty and Halo at the same time. But everything happened when Doom 2016 arrived, when Doom 2016 was published. The game was amazing. The game was a goddamn masterpiece. I dare to say that Doom 2016, the campaign, is a goddamn masterpiece. Obviously, every masterpiece has its defects. For example, Dark Souls is a goddamn masterpiece, but it has its defects. Halo Combat Evolved, Halo 2 and Halo 3 are a goddamn masterpiece, but they have its defects. And it was the same thing for Doom 2016. The campaign was amazing. I loved playing the campaign. I love playing the campaign still. I always play the campaign when I'm doing videos, when I'm streaming and everything. The replayability in Doom 2016 is amazing. Yes, the narrative of Doom might not be that great. Well, it's decent. It's not awful, but you can see that it lacked narrative. It lacked dialogue. It lacked a lot of things. Pretty much the only persons we can hear talking in the Doom 2016 campaign is Samuel Hayden, Olivia Pez, and Vega. 2 of them are the villains and 1 of them is an AI that is helping you traverse the UAC facility. But we never talked with an ally, we never talked with a UAC employee or something, and I really want to see that in Doom Eternal. I want to see more narrative in Doom Eternal. I want to see more story-driven narrative in Doom Eternal. More dialogue, more cutscenes, more interactions between the Doomslayer and the UAC employees, NPCs, AIs, or whatever, persons, people, soldiers. Pretty much what I want is that I want to feel like Master Chief in Halo 3, when Master Chief arrives at Rat's Nest, and every single soldier is like, oh my god, it's the goddamn Master Chief. And that's pretty much what I felt when I was watching the Phobos reveal gameplay. Every single UAC employee was like, oh my god, it's the goddamn Doomslayer, the Slayer of Demons. And one of the best things about Doom 2016 was the snap map mode. Too bad it's not returning in Doom Eternal. I do not know why. It was pretty amazing, and pretty much when you give the tools to your community to be able to create maps, game modes, etc., your game is never going to freaking die. For example, you have Half-Life. Valve released its tools to the community and they made Left 4 Dead, they made Portal, they made Team Fortress, they made Counter-Strike. Well, I do not know if they made all of those games, but from my understanding, every Valve game was made by the community. Well, at least Counter-Strike was made by the community, and everyone knows how gigantic is Counter-Strike right now. If you give the game tools to your community is never going to die. Your game is never going to die, because the community is always going to be creating content and content and content for the game. For example, the Snap Map mode had a community tab where the community could upload their game modes, maps, etc. You can go into Snap Map mode and pretty much you can watch thousands of maps, thousands of game modes, and pick which one do you want to play. It is amazing, and please, id Software, if someone at id Software is watching this, please bring back snap map mode at least as a DLC or something like that, or on a future patch or update, because you're losing a lot on snap map mode, to be completely honest. So yes, obviously, first, finish Doom Eternal, polish your game. Please do not release a broken game. No one wants to play a broken game and wait for patch notes and updates so that the game can be fixed. No one wants to do that. Every time a game launches or releases broken, it's going to die very quickly. Halo the Master Chief Collection died quickly. Okay, right now is pretty populated because of the new patch, but still, 2014 game, and just recently got population again because of the patch, but it was released broken and it died quickly. Halo 5, it was released broken and with no content, died pretty quickly as well. Star Wars Battlefront 2, released broken with no content, died pretty quickly. Star Wars Battlefront 1, released broken with no content, died pretty quickly. Like, at this point, if you don't release a good game with enough content and with enough attention from the developer, you will not have a great game. It's gonna die quickly. Gamers right now are very exigentes. Les encanta exigir a los desarrolladores de juegos. Nos encanta, nos sentimos como si fuéramos sus jefes. Aunque no sea verdad, los jugadores saben lo que están diciendo la mayoría de las veces. Pretty much, even if it's not true, players, the community always know what the community wants, because we are the players, we're the one playing your goddamn game. But okay, I'm starting to rant, but I do not want to rant. I'm talking about why Doom has been amazing for 25 years. And so to wrap up this video, because I need to sleep, Doom has been amazing for 25 years because it gave us the first true FPS experience. It created a whole genre of FPS. It gave us Duke Nukem 3D, it gave us Half-Life, and pretty much, even though it was not intentional, it gave us games like Halo, Call of Duty, Battlefield, because if Doom was never created, we wouldn't have never created the FPS genre. The FPS genre will have never been popularized by Doom. So pretty much every FPS game right now owes a thanks to Doom. And also because Doom teaches us that there's always going to be a guy so powerful that is going to stop the forces of hell on their tracks. Like, I believe that in hell right now there must be a guy with a green suit that weighs like 200 pounds, it's 6 foot tall, has a super shotgun, and is very angry at the demons, protecting us from the demons. Here is 25 years to Doom, and here is 25 years for more Doom. Yes, I drank my water earlier. So okay, Spartans, if you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike, and please let me know what you think about this video. Did you enjoy it or not? Please let me know, and please let me know why do you love Doom so much? What made you begin playing Doom? What made you get into Doom? And so okay, Spartans, that is all for today. If you guys like the video, slap a like on it. I'll really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, take care, and I love you very much. Thank you for watching, Spartans. I really do appreciate it. Bye bye.